Manchester United have done the job this evening, got a 3-0 win over Colchester. Pretty content with that, to be honest. It could potentially have been a banana skin for Manchester United, considering how up and down we've been against the lesser sides this season. We struggled to beat Rochdale and we struggled for 45 minutes to get the job done. And second half, we have managed to get the job done, getting a fairly early goal in the second half from a nice breakaway goal from Marcus Rashford coming inside and just walloping it home. Very well taken goal. Then we get in a second goal going down as an own goal. It wasn't, for some reason on live score it was originally given as a Marcus Rashford goal and then given as an own goal. I don't know, they obviously thought that he'd poked it in, but it was an own goal looking back on the pictures. And then Martial tapping in a third goal to seal the victory. Now, pretty content, as I say, with that, but we've used a lot of first team, more of a stronger team than we usually have done in the past in this competition at times against a League Two opposition, which, this is expected. We should be easily swatting no disrespect to Colchester, but we should easily be swatting these aside 3-4, 5-0 with that sort of starting lineup we put out there. That attacking front three should be scoring goals, should be creating goals. Definitely against this sort of opposition, no question. That shouldn't be a problem for Manchester United, and it was a nice, well taken goal from Marcus Rashford, but it's against League Two opposition. Martial getting himself a goal, but League Two opposition, realistically, they should be hammering goals in against this opposition and getting the job done a lot sooner. But we have got it done. We haven't had to take it to penalties this time, like that game against Rochdale, which was absolutely horrendous. So that is the positive. But the main big news comes out of this is that we play Manchester City in the semi-final now after winning this game, which is a colossal game for Manchester United, and the winners will play either Villa or Leicester City in the final. So it does give Manchester United a lot of incentive now in the semi-final to try and get to a final. He's going to definitely play a very strong lineup in that semi-final. We know he will, because there is a chance at stake to get to that final. So we've got to put out the strongest team we can possibly put out for that game. I was a bit disappointed we didn't see no Angel Gomez in the squad again this evening. I don't know what's up with him. He didn't even play for the under-23, so is there a problem? Has he picked up some sort of injury? I don't know, but he wasn't even on the bench tonight. Chong played for the reserves on Monday night and was on the bench but didn't come off the bench. We've seen Brandon Williams come off and James Garner come off in the second half off the bench to play some minutes, so that was nice to see. But obviously I do realise that Chong played on Monday night, and maybe he thought they'd just have him on the substitutes bench just to make the numbers up, but I don't know. But these players, Gomez and Chong, are probably going to be leaving Manchester United now, which is a shame, because I'm not too sure if Chong's going to make it as a first team player ever at Manchester United, but his goal scoring record and assist record has been pretty damn decent for the reserves this season. But he has outgrown the reserves along with Gomez, and they need first team football. It would have been nice to have seen them go on loan, even to a championship club for a season, just to see how they get on. Tammy Abraham did the same last season at 21 years of age and was absolutely smashing it there. I'm not saying that these are going to do the same, but he smashed it on loan at Villa and has come back and been smashing it for Chelsea. I'm not saying that is going to happen with Manchester United with these two youngsters, but to have got rid of them and let them end up going on a free is just dreadful for Manchester United, because both of these players are worth quite a few million quid, and certainly Gomez could come back to haunt Manchester United. And we've played League Two Colchester. Jesus Christ. And we've had to play the likes of Rashford and Marshall, and even Greenwood's had to play, and these three are, for me, are considered first teamers now. Okay, he doesn't start Greenwood very often in the Premier League, but certainly Martial and Rashford are first teamers, and Sir Alex Ferguson would never have, back in his day, wouldn't really have played a lot of first teamers like that in a game against Colchester. But it does show how thin our squad is, that we have to play a number of first teamers to get the job done, because our backup players, if we hadn't played Martial and Rashford tonight, we may have still scraped through, but it would have been tight. And to think that without without our forwards, we've pretty much got nothing going forward, which is really worrying for Manchester United, which is why it does look like Chong's going to go and Gomez is going to go. that we're going to have to bring another forward into Manchester United at some point, because the actual goal threat only really comes from Rashford, Marshall and Greenwood. Now, I know Daniel James does provide a lot for Manchester United in terms of his speed, his assists and whatnot, but he's not a goal scorer, is he, at all? And without them three, if two of them three got injured, Manchester for long term, Manchester would be absolutely screwed. Which is why, if we do bring a forward in, it would help Manchester United massively, and I don't think it would really hinder Greenwood too much for Manchester United. To be honest, it would just give Manchester United another option in games like this, where we could have rested Rashford or we could have rested Martial, which we couldn't do this evening really, in Solskjaer's eyes, because he sees this as an important trophy. And if we beat Man City, we've got one hell of a chance. I mean, we've already beat Man City this season away from home. We've already beat Leicester this season, and we've drawn with Aston Villa. So we've gone toe-to-toe with all three of them teams. And depending on what sort of teams they put out, and whether Man City take this as serious as us, I doubt it, but I think still Manchester United are going to take it more serious. But I still think Man City will obviously want to beat Manchester United, because they're not guaranteed of winning silverware like they were last season. They're far behind in the league, and the Champions League's hard, and obviously the FA Cup, so they're still going to want to win it. But I think Manchester United might just want to win it that slightly bit more. Solskjaer might just want to win it slightly that bit more than Pep Guardiola, and will probably put a slightly stronger lineup out. But we will have to wait and see. But overall, pretty damn happy that Manchester United have got the job done. I mean, just content is really the word, because you expect Manchester United to win this, but sometimes these games can be a bit hairy and only maybe win 1-0, 2-0 or 2-1. But getting through the game is the most important thing. The performance isn't, although, obviously this was a team that was going to come to defend, sit back for large parts. We've seen against Spurs and against Crystal Palace that they wanted to get the 0-0s, take it to penalties, because that's a 50-50 chance then of winning the game, and they've got a much better chance of winning it that way. And it is all about getting through in these cup games. That's all you give a shit about in a one-off knockout cup game. You just want to get through. You don't give a shit whether you play amazing football, you score a couple of amazing goals and then lose 3-2. It just isn't what you want. You want to just get the job done, play as bad as you do. If you play shit or you play good, just get the job done, and we have done tonight, and I'm thankful for that. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on that. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll talk to you all again soon. See ya.